Hello, hello, hello. There are my rosies. It is a wonderful day today. And there is my papa dog. All right, the papa dog is there. Look at that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful papa dog. That beautiful hippopotamus. Yes, and we're making a video together. Papa dog, come. Want to show yourself? Come here, come. Show yourself. Yes. Yes. What is this? A lipstick. A self-made lipstick for the papa dog? Yes. And I made a nice song. A nice song that goes like, I made a strawberry lipstick for you. I made a grape lipstick for you. I made a grape lipstick for you. I am inventing this right now. Ta 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 ta. It is a spontaneous song, as everyone for the papa dog is. I made a strawberry chocolate lipstick for you. That matches your mouth. Ta 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 ta. Easter time with the chocolate lipstick for you. Ta 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 ta. My self-made rose lipstick. And I put that on the papa dog's nose sometimes, and he likes this. Sometimes I dip it on like this, and sometimes I put it on my mouth and kiss him on the leather part of the nose, and that moisturizes the nose. And I had to do this a lot on our last hot spring trip over there by Bog Hot Springs in Nevada. The air was so dry, and there was dry wind, and his nose was chapped and dry, and he was hot. And so I put my self-made clay cream. I had my self-made clay cream there, and I had beeswax in it, I had bentonite clay in it, I had kaolin clays in it, I had essential oils in it, including grape fruit oil, which smells amazing in a concoction of different things. So this one here, I already made a video about how I made this. I made this from scratch, and I wanted to emphasize the rose essential oil that I had. That I had 1 ounce of rose essential oil, but not concentrated. That would cost hundreds of dollars. It was a concentration of 10% rose essential oil to, I think, grapeseed oil that they put in. So real natural rose essential oil, but a little bit goes a long way. So when I open this, I can show you how it is now in the solid form. But okay, that's what I wanted to tell Sandy. I made a mistake with I might have to write this underneath that video if I remember to do this later today. It came out nice, and I was able to draw this up. Let me draw this up. I'm gonna draw this up right now so you can see this. You see this here? Okay, see this how it comes out. It's very nice and everything. It looks like it is perfect, but the problem is I put coconut oil into it, and coconut oil is solid in room temperature. As soon as you put your warm finger on it, it starts to melt. So as soon as it gets warm outside, if it gets really warm, we had a couple of warm days after I made this, and it became almost liquid. It was like mashed potatoes, sort of. So I can put this on my lip like this, or on my face, but you can see it melts as soon as it touches the skin. It melts immediately because of the coconut. I put a lot of coconut oil in it. Like, I think I have like half coconut oil in it. And it's nice as a body butter. This is the perfect body butter. You just, after you take a shower, you put that on your body. It's perfect. But for lip balm, it doesn't work so well because it melts. I mean, you can do it, but it melts as soon as it touches the lips. It makes a nice lip gloss, actually. Very glossy. Smells heavenly. Smells very strongly of essential rose. Rosa Damascena is the Latin name for it. Very lovely. But for my own personal preference, I prefer this to be more solid. So, and I prefer not to have coconut oil in a lip balm. So I'm not going to do this again. You know, these are all learning experiences. You learn as you go. And it's fun, you know, it's a fun to experiment with these kind of things. So I absolutely love it, but nothing goes to waste ever. Whatever I make with my creams, I never let a drop of it go to waste, because those are real precious resources, as I treat every resource, you know, with the same dignity and respect. So every item, even the Nutella bread mousse that you can buy, you know, which is not very ethical, because I read it has palm oil in it. That's not ethical. So I got it in a grocery outlet, which is a food outlet. So they're getting rid of like rest depot from companies for a lower price, which is nice. We got a lot of things there that are really awesome. And the Nutella tastes great, and I grew up with Nutella because I believe it is a German company, but I'm not so sure. Maybe they sold it or whatever. Probably sold it now to all kinds of different corporations. But I know it's owned by Ferrero. Not Ferrari, by Ferrero, I guess. You know, Ferrero Rocher or whatever. And Quentin Bish made a perfume for them. No, I'm just kidding. But he made a perfume that smells like Nutella, and it's called Angel Muse, and it's my absolute favorite perfume. So, and Nutella is my favorite bread mousse, but it has palm oil in it, and that's unethical. So I would never buy this from an actual vendor, you know, where they get, you know, customers to buy that stuff, and then they go, oh, it's in demand, let's order more and let's exploit the Amazon rainforest some more and stuff like this. So no, I would never buy it from Walmart or any other vendor other than a rest post outlet store. So, which gets me kind of like to wash my hands clean from guilt feelings, but not really, because after I read that it has palm oil, I felt really bad when I saw that. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to buy this again, even at the grocery outlet. So, because I don't know, they probably see then that's a demand or whatever, you know, they make a market analysis or something. But, you know, whatever other people do, you know, I personally prefer to live as ethical as I can possibly do it, with all of my addictions and needs and so on, you know. So I too am a living being, not just a living being, but I too am a an exploitation supporting human, because I exist. So unless I live somewhere out there in a forest without clothes and anything, so then I'm not an exploitation supporting human. Then I am a living being like all the other innocent beings in the forest. But I am not. I live in human civilization, so called, Derek Jensen wrote books about this, you know, very courageous, very great books, very educational. Those books are the books that should be taught in schools, you know, so people actually know what the human species is doing to the others. And I met him in person. I had a crush on him. Oh God, long story. So, but of course he does not attracted to me. Should go without saying, right? So, but anyway, but I wasn't. I was kind of nuts. I was after we lost Samantha, and every time I lose a dog, I go kind of bonkers. So yeah, but that's that's how I am, and I cannot edit this video. So whatever I'm gonna blab now is gonna stay in this video. But yeah, I'm gonna make these lip balms from now on just with a wax, either beeswax or plant wax, and some essential oil and carrier oil. And so it has to have a ratio. I think there's a little bit too liquid, so it should probably have a ratio of a third or maybe even half beeswax or other wax. Beeswax is more solid than plant waxes, so maybe a third beeswax and the other 2/3 the oil, including the carrier oil and including the essential oil. So carrier oil is something like olive oil, something that's not too expensive, something that doesn't have much of a scent on its own, because whatever scent you want to create with this, you know, if you want to use rose, then and it should smell like rose, then olive oil will be very nice complementary added carrier oil, because it will even round up the rose oil into an even more amazing and soft scent. It's very nice. I love the smell of olive oil. It's great. So, but you can also use canola oil or sesame oil or sunflower oil or any of these other really great carrier oils. This is an azalea brush here next to me. It is lovely. And those are rhododendron. Azalea and rhododendron, they're related, obviously. They're almost the same species, I think. So one can clearly see this. I think the azaleas, the way I identify the azalea is the flowers are about a third of the size to the rhododendron. These rhododendron in particular, they come in all kinds of pink shades. Someone cultivated them here. They planted them, as you can see here, by the stems. They're becoming trees, short trees so far, but it's a hedge plant, because they fan out into many branches like this, and those rosy colored flowers, they are huge. They're like head size, amazing, and they're getting ready. They have buds now that are getting bigger, and they're gonna be blooming, I think, in July, yeah, June or July. I think in July. So this one comes out first, I think. So, and they're very huge and they smell amazing. And I also have rhododendron essential oil from Eden Botanicals, and it smells amazing. And you can also make lip balm with this. I think I'm gonna make a lip balm with that, because the oil is a little bit resinous and it's very sticky. So in combination with a wax, the rhododendron sticky oil will be perfect, because that'll be perfect for the lips, to apply to the lips. So I also want to make a foot massage video now. I'm using this also as my foot massage balm. That's perfect. Makes it the perfect foot massage balm. And I'll put this into my shoe. So this into my shoe or against my shoe. There you go. There you go, Papa Dog. It's nice today. Yes, Papa Dog is happy. He is happy. Yes, and I have two different types of socks on because my room is so dark I cannot possibly find the right matching socks. So, okay, so I'm gonna scrape this out now. Right now it's pretty solid. But that's because it's, I don't know, it's like 65 degrees or something. So when it gets 80 degrees, this will become very, very, very almost like oil. So, but what I do is I put this, I retract that back in, and then I just scoop it out like this. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Wonderful. Makes me feel like I have friends with me here in my garden. You know, other than that, Paul and I are very, very reclusive people. We're total recluses. Don't have friends because these people around us, every time we meet someone, and that's been so many times the case, that, you know, I talk a lot. That's why I make videos. So I talk kind of like talk. In the beginning, they are like, okay. And then the more I talk, the more I reveal about my completely off the beaten path view on the world. And the more I reveal about my world view, the less the people feel good that are talking to me. Because the more their defenses come up and they want to defend their belief systems and so on, and they become angry or they leave, or they make a snarly remark and then they leave. So it happened many times. So, and why struggle with people like this? You know, when someone gets mad, I let go immediately. So I don't continue. My husband, he will continue to argue with them, and if I don't pay attention and pull him away, my husband will argue with someone in the middle of the street for 10 hours, and I am not kidding. I am not kidding. I have tested this already. He will argue with, if that other person continues to argue, they get literally in their faces with their forefingers like this. I've seen all of this in LA already. It was really scary. And they will become almost like threatening. The other person will be the one who'll be threatening because his ego is hurt, and my husband will be threatening in self-defense, like. So they have their forefingers together like this, almost like, you, he said, you who, like the first meeting of Jesus and the Christian God. Like that painting by Leonardo da Vinci. First forefinger contact between two very self-righteous males. So, but that was not the case with Jesus and the Christian God, or what they call the Christian God. Not the Christian God. Or how they envision their God as being the Christian God. So there's Jesus as an indigo, and there is the infinite cosmos, you know. So, and I've seen this. This is amazing. After Kenny died, I saw a cloud formation, and I painted that because it was so significant. A cloud formation of exactly that situation. That it was the infinite cosmos was this finger like this meeting another person's finger like that. It was amazing. But the infinite cosmos was had the shape of the blue god and dog form that I always paint. It's amazing, absolutely, absolutely amazing. So yeah, we don't have friends because, no kidding, I am way out there. Yes, and I was accused of this. You are way out there. What do you expect? I don't expect anything. And yes, I am way out there for the rest of the population, the populous body. And what can I do about it? Nothing. I'm not going to adapt to something that I don't agree with. But if I see bullshit, why should I adapt to bullshit? That is my question. So that wouldn't make any sense whatsoever, to adapt to bullshit, to insane stuff. That's exactly reversed. Feels good to have the feet on the grass. Feels so good. Feels awesome. I really enjoy this garden and the sun and all the plants. I really, really enjoy every plant cell. It's a present from the infinite cosmos, every plant cell. And I don't call anything weed. So I'm not gonna call marijuana weed anymore. That's bullshit to call that weed. So it's marijuana, okay? And we don't have marijuana on our property. I would never cultivate marijuana. Okay? So, but in a conversation with other people, I will call it marijuana. I like that word. But I would never use that herb. I don't use that herb. Long time ago, when I was young, I tried it. It didn't work for me. It made me paranoid even more. I'm already paranoid enough. I don't need to be any more paranoid. So even the dried leaves made me paranoid. So forget it. Okay, it's not a plant for me. It might be an herb for other people. It might work for other people. It is a medicinal herb, and but I personally do not recommend it to young people. I don't. So, but it's up to everyone what they want to do with their lives, you know. But, you know, it's not a very strong hallucinogenic. plant, but I personally believe that marijuana also messes up the neuronal functions. It messes it up in the long run, and it's not a good idea to do it. So that's just my view on it. And boy, if I say those kind of things to the hippie druggy type of the drug hippie type of community. I'm a hippie myself, but not a call myself a clean hippie. I'm a very, very clean, dorky hippie. So, but if I say this to the drug hippie community, boy, they take such offense. Because to them, this is like a religion again. It's like, boy, that makes them mad. That makes them so mad. And then some people, they make money with it, they capitalize on it. So, like, you know, their identity is attached to it. Their income source is attached to this. So they'll get very angry if someone says anything. Because if I say something that is out in the open on the internet, then their clients could see it and they could have a second thought about that herb, and then I can potentially take their clients away. And this happens to me a lot on the internet when I talk against any kind of substance that people are addicted to. I mean, you know, the more serious ones, the ones that are neuronally causing long-term damage. So, and marijuana is part of this group of substances. However, it is not as strong, but some substances are very strong, like psilocybin mushrooms, for example. You know? So I do not recommend those to anyone. I speak out against it. I speak out against drugs. I also speak out against the pharma industry. So I practice my freedom of speech with this. I'm a proponent of healthy green living. Healthy. Also, I, I'm a proponent of cleanliness of body and mind and language. Okay? It's very important that we pay attention to the words we use. It's very, very important. It's important to never be verbally abusive or aggressive to someone else. Very important. And if we practice this kind of peace, the world will become a better place. Okay? But everyone has to be part of this. Everyone has to participate in this peace. And then things will become better. But even if other people don't participate in this, which I don't even expect to happen anytime soon, you know, so then we still have the responsibility and the obligation and the duty to life on this planet and beyond, to make the world better, to make the world more peaceful. We have that responsibility. Every single person has that responsibility. It smells good here. I smell all the different needle trees and the cedars, beautiful all the way around me, and the spruces and the grand fir and the Douglas fir, different types of needle trees around me. Smells so good. And there's an Oregon grape brush, and I cut that into a cube. Looks really nice. And somewhere around October, or like September and October, that Oregon grape brush has real amazing aromatic small flowers, like tiny little star-shaped flowers that look very similar to jasmine. And I would not be surprised if they are related to jasmine. So, but jasmine grows in warmer climates, and Oregon grape grows in the more moderate northern Pacific Northwest climate. And yeah, it's amazing. In September and October, they have not very many, but they have a few of these tiny little star-shaped white flowers, and they smell so incredibly amazing. I can imagine if they made absolute oil from those, that would be so incredibly difficult to find a whole lot of those. And I think not every brush has those. I think this is a female that we have. That's why it makes these flowers. Incredible. I was smelling over there, and where does this amazing scent come from? I was wondering, could that be somebody's laundry detergent? I thought. And then I thought, no way, that smells too natural for that. And it smells like a real expensive perfume. And then I was smelling closer to the brush, and then I saw it. I saw the little star-shaped white flowers. I thought, that is something else. I didn't even know they would carry little flowers like that. And I smelled on them, and I was like in heaven, you know. That smell is so amazing. And it is quite similar to jasmine sambac, actually, but different. But it is in that range, you know, like very, very like opium almost, like very, very thick, heavy, very, very, very heavy opiate like sweet, very heavy and sweet scent. And that is what I love. I love heavy and sweet scents. And that is like, that's the best, the best. And I think the hummingbirds, they go into those and drink the nectar. Amazing, amazing flowers. Smells so incredibly good. It's such a present from the infinite cosmos. It smells almost a little bit like oud, like agar wood, but it's not agar wood, it's Oregon grape. It also has little fruits, the Oregon grapes, but they're very small, and I think we can eat those. I think one can eat those and make jelly with it and stuff like this. I think they are very rich in vitamins, and they're very tart and sour and a little bit bitter, but they're very good, very, very medicinal. They're very liver cleansing, and you can make tea with the Oregon grape leaves. It's very liver cleansing. And I'm sure you can eat those little flowers too. Very amazing what nature has, you know. Mother Earth offers us so many treasures. So many treasures. Most people don't even know about them. This planet offers a, a medicine for every single need. For everything. And not just one, but like 100 different plants for every single need or more. Every region offers at least 100 different plants for every single health need. It's quite amazing. And the reason why it's not used more widely is because they cannot patent plants. They can't put their signature underneath and say, I invented this molecule. And that's why, you know, they can't sell you pine needle oil for $1,000. They can't, you know, $1,000 per pill or something. So they can't do that because they can't patent. They don't own. They were sure, Monsanto was sure trying to get that approved too. Oh, they were sure trying to get like the approval of owning a plant, but they didn't get that. So because they were, or what they were doing was genetically modified plants that they were selling as their signature. What they were doing was, I mean, that's insane, insane what they did. What they did is really awful. They were trying to ruin family farms. Was that they were trying to ruin organic farms? Was that they would deliberately spill some of their seeds off the freeways into the organic fields, and then they would come and sue them and say, you're using our DNA seeds. And so they were trying to do it that way, but they deliberately spelled those so that they could try to do this, sue them. And the organic farmers, they don't don't even want their seeds, you know. They don't want their fields to be polluted with GMO seeds. So that's what Monsanto was doing, these kind of things. Well, people need to know these. People need to be informed about this. Very few people talk about it because, oh, for so many, they'll come up with so many excuses why they don't want to talk about it. You know, the spiritual community, self-proclaimed spiritual, you know. Because I don't even use that word in my own language unless I talk about it. So the self-proclaimed so-called spiritual community, they will say, oh, we don't want negativity. We don't talk about it, we don't think about it, thus it doesn't exist. That's how they think. That's their mindset. So, but it still exists. Sorry, it still exists. Yes, that is the problem of it, you know. And if no one talks about it, if no one addresses it, if we don't fix this, then it will persist and get worse. That is what's happening. Okay? So we have to address the issues. And if we don't address the issues, we're being very irresponsible. That's a fact. If you want to fix something, you have to first acknowledge that the problem exists. And so then we can ask the question, how do we approach this issue? What do we do? How can we help? How can we fix this? The corporations, they will use all kinds of fads and propagandize those fads to the public. I wouldn't be surprised if they have jumped massively onto that so-called spiritual movement, because they can use the spiritual movement and propagandize to people, into people's brains, that we need to always be positive, no negative talking, no negative thing, no one is allowed to criticize anything. Well, that plays into their favor, doesn't it? So that's why they promote this, that's why they propagate this. People need to put A and B together more, not be so easily appeased with what people are saying to them, or was easily intimidated by authority figures or something, or by a guru. Never be intimidated by a guru. It doesn't matter how famous that person is. Never be intimidated by those. And it's those that become famous because they cater to the corporations. Of course the corporations will help them out and make them famous, because they want that message to be out there. They want people to not question them. Okay? So Christian religion has it too. The Christian religion is completely owned by the corporation. That's why they drill it into their children already, and say to their children, thou shalt not ask any questions. You go to hell or something. I don't know what they tell their children. I've seen it all on the internet, trust me. And here in the United States, it's particularly persistent. It's like it's condensed, this kind of stuff. You see this kind of stuff only in small pockets in Europe. Well, you see it massively in the Islamic religion, of course. I'm talking right now about the Christian religion. So the Christian religion is not that widespread and not that aggressive in Europe. So here it is in the United States. Because the corporations have both feet in the door in those religions. They keep these religions going also. They keep this whole thing going. So that's why my appel really goes to the next generations. That's why I go to chat rooms sometimes, and I try to educate people and warn them and say, don't make babies, don't fall into this never-ending trap. Don't pollute, don't be part of this exploitation supporting existence. Do this as little as you possibly can. Do not participate in it. Learn. That's why it's important to learn. Me buying these ski pants here makes me by default also part of this whole chain of, the exploitation chain. I don't know how much exploitation went into making this particular ski pants, or my clothes or whatever. So I already live vegan. But even those clothes, there's still a small percentage of resource use, and these are raw oil materials. So there is a small percentage of exploitation inside. Okay. Whether I like it or not, whether I actively pursue this or not. And that's why it's important. So this should not be an excuse for people that will say, oh, it doesn't matter what we do. Those people are there. They'll be very quick to come with this excuse. My excuse is the up my not my excuse, my my argument. My argument is the opposite of that excuse. So I don't use an excuse for anything. Okay, so it's an argument against their excuse. My argument goes in the opposite direction. We are already participating in this, so let's try to minimize that participation in the exploitation process. I hope that makes sense, what I'm saying. The ego is very quick, and ego with greed and self proliferation, self-image proliferation, and so on. It's very quick to make excuses for supporting this or that. So